Let's talk about adding a subscription form to your website. Now, we're going to experiment with adding this to a WordPress website and adding the form to a non-WordPress website, basically a plain website where you have access to the code base yourself. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and create a form by clicking on the subscription form. I already have some form already I've created previously. But let's go ahead and create a new form. So click on create new form. And then you have all these pre-designed forms that you can choose from for different purposes. And you can choose the different type of form you want. You can use the embedded form, the pop-up form, a floating form, or a fixed form. Now, a fixed form is basically a form that is fixed at the bottom of your website or at the top of your website and doesn't move when you scroll around or when a user or a visitor scrolls around your website. This is basically a great form you can use to capture like email list, mailing list subscribers for your newsletter, all right? But it can be quite invasive, all right? So you have other forms like the floating form. This form can be moved around your website and you can decide to, a user can decide to deactivate the form or cancel the form on your website. Now you can initiate this form or you can trigger this form at different stages of your user's interaction with your website. A user can see the form maybe when they come to your website for the first time, or when they scroll to a section of your website, or when they're about to leave your website. Same thing for a pop-up form. But for the purpose of this video, let's go ahead and create an embedded form. An embedded form is basically a form that is like you can install on your website and it's fixed the location you put it. So let's create a new list and let's call this new list. Now you can choose any of these existing lists here to create a form, or you can go ahead and create a new list while you're trying to create a new form. So let's just new list and let's add this as new form list. Let's go ahead and create. And then we click on go to builder. As you can see, the new list has been created, and then we can click on go to builder to begin the process of designing the form. Now we are in the form builder. The first thing you will notice is this red notification right here, telling you that you need to enter a domain where the form will be published. Now, if you do not have a website, this is where you get that information. You need to have a website, or you need to have a domain name where you are most likely going to publish your form. Right, so I've gotten a domain here or your website here for test purposes, and here is the domain. So let's click on fix this right now. And then here I will paste my domain, all right? And I will confirm that the mailing list is the same one we selected. You can decide to add a form to your CRM. SendPulse has a CRM system where you can manage your customer along their journey. But we do not want to do that for now. Let's just check that, yes. And then let's just go ahead and check our opt-in settings. We can decide this form to be a single opt-in. Right, single opt-in means that users who do not need to receive a confirmation email to be added to your email list. Now, I advise that you always use a double opt-in. Double opt-in increases the quality of your email list rather than the quantity of email lists. If someone wants to actually join your email list, they will need to check their email and confirm that, yes, they want to be added to your email list. Like you can see the confirmation email here. You can edit it if you wish, but for the purpose of this video, we'll leave this like this. We'll leave the default here. So this is the email your subscribers will receive, and they will get this button right here where they can click, yes, sign me up right now. Sign me up now. All right, so you can see there's a notice here that please use only corporate domain. Do not use free email service like Gmail, Yahoo, and etc. It's very important that you take note of that. Now we have done this setup, we can now proceed to check our confirmation page. You can, show the default thank you page. So the default thank you page that provided to you by SendPulse, you can decide to show that to your subscribers, or you can decide to redirect them to a thank you page. Now you must have designed this thank you page at some point where users will be redirected to say thank you for your subscribing to your email list, blah, blah, blah. And then you can, guide them on the next step you want them to take. So yeah, for if you are giving free ebooks or you are giving something in exchange for the email addresses, this is where you want to put the link, or this is where you want to put the link to the download page, so that they can get to the download page and download whatever it is you have for them. All right, so let's proceed and apply changes. Now, we have our form designer right here. Let's just go ahead and design a form real quick. All right. So on the left right here, we have our elements. On the right here, we have our element characteristics. So what I want to do is I want to create a form. I want to collect the user's phone number and name and email address. So I click on this plus button to get the input. I click on name, drag it, and paste it up here. Then on the right here, we have your name, placeholder, full name, and then we have variables. So we have to select the variable we want this information to be attached to on our email list. So we want this to be attached to name. Okay, mark it as required. Let's go on and add phone number. We'll click on phone, and then we paste that. Now, SendPost automatically assume that you want the phone number to be assigned to the variable of phone. So you can just leave that as so, and then we want this to be marked as required. Then we click on subscribe. I want to change this color to black, and I want the button to be round, and I want the button to be at the center. I think I also want the button to be full size. Let us, so that is about it. Subscribe. Once a week, you get a digest. Let's put at the center. Okay, so we have our form. So let's go ahead and embed this form on our test website. All right, so this is basically a website where I have access to edit the code base. All right, so this is our example one. So let's click on save and get code. You just click on save, and then you receive a code right here. So we have two options. You have the script, and then we have the HTML. Now, I always advise you use the script. If you use this script, whatever changes you make right here in your form builder will be updated on your website. You do not have to replace the code. But whatever changes, if you use the HTML option, whatever changes you make in your form builder right here, you will have to update the code on your website. Right, as you can see here, you need to replace this code on page each time you edit and save form in the builder. So let me show you the difference. So I'll basically copy code for the HTML, and then let's go to our website. So on this our website right here, this is basically an HTML website, and I have access to edit the code base. I will just paste the HTML version of the form, and let's save that. So let's go back and check how it looks like on the website. So right here, let's click on refresh, and there you have it. We have our form. Let's make a change to the form, and let's see if that changes. So let's add what should we add now? Let's add a text on top here, and let's make this text big enough. Let's make it red, and let's make it bigger. All right, so let's click on save. If you refresh the site, you see that there are no changes. All right, so let's do something else. Let's use the script instead of the HTML. So let's copy this. Let's copy the code. Let's remove this and let's paste the script. So we've pasted the script where we want the form to be displayed. We'll save that. All right, so now let's refresh the website, and you can see now that just a text block is now showing. Let's make another change. Let's change the button color to orange, and let's change the text to, let me see, green. All right, I just want to show you the difference between the two options. Now in saved, let's go back and refresh the site, and then you can see that the update shows up right here. So this is the reason why it's best to always use the script instead of using the HTML code to integrate to your website. So if you want to embed your form to your website, regardless of what type of website you have, even if it's a WordPress website, all you need is just like an HTML block or HTML section where you can paste the code. And if you can paste the code in that section, you can get this form to work. All right. So let's take a look at up to customizing your form a little further. Now, you may not want the name and the phone numbers to show up like this. Let's make a little change to that. So we click outside, not on the blocks or any of the elements. We click outside, and here we can change the length of the field. Right? We can change the width of the background, or we can change the width of the item of the form itself like this. Okay. We can make the background colored, or we can make it transparent. Let's make it white. We can take a little step further. Let's make the form field large, right? Now, let's remove the labels at the top. So we come to label position and we use hint inside of field. So we can make the label on the left of the field like this, right? Let's save that. Let's go back to the site and refresh. You can see now we have the label on the left and then the field on the right. And we have the subscribe button right here. We can as well make the label disappear and make it as a hint in the field, just like this. We click on save and let's refresh. Now you see pretty simple and easy to use. All right, so we have the fields here with placeholders where you have more information about what you want. Now, if you want to change the placeholder in there, for example, full name, we can come and click on full name and we change the placeholder text to enter your full name, just like so. For the phone number, you already know the phone number gives you a hint based on your country. And then for the email address, it already gives you a hint. I think no one can mistake this as an email, not been an email address. All right, so let's save that. And let's refresh the website and you can see full name changes to enter your full name. So that's basically it. So let's take a recap again. Once you come to your SendPost dashboard, you click on subscription form. You create a new subscription form. You can decide to have an email list created prior to that, or you can decide to create a subscription form for an existing email list. Then we get into the form builder, and then we are able to edit the form options. From form data and type, we include the domain name or the website for this form, the website for which the form will be added to. Now we can choose if we want to be embedded, pop-up, or floating form. And we can choose our action after subscription if you want it to be the default action, or you want it to redirect to your own thank you page. You can do that as well. Then we just apply changes and go back. We can now edit our form and make it more user-friendly. And we can make some changes to the display of the labels and text. We can even go a little further to embed this form in two different ways. You can embed this form using the HTML option, of which I advise strongly against, because whenever you make changes to the form, the changes do not reflect on your website. Now, the best option to use is always use the script. Now, regardless of the website you have, you could have a WordPress website. You could have a hard-coded website, a website you coded by yourself, or you could have a website with different type of builders, all right? I can't remember a builder off the top of my head, but there are many other builders out there you can use. All you need to do is to find an input that allows you to enter a script, all right? And then you impute your script. Just copy the script by clicking on copy this code, and then you go there and you paste it. And voila, your form gets displayed. So that's it.